A very warm 𝗙ecie-𝗙𝗰𝗲 and welcome to the face-to-face program. I'm 𝗞𝗿𝗼𝗲, your host. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with T Dorji, a renowned photographer, for his suggestive depiction of Bhutan's landscape and cultural heritage. With a background of enclosed banking, social entrepreneurship, and volunteerism, Dorji's photography reflects a deep-seated connection with the natural world and a profound appreciation for stillness and patience. So can you tell us about your journey into this photography and what initially drew you into this art vision?
Thank you, 𝗚𝗻𝗲, and of course, thank you to Bhutan today for having me. My journey actually started maybe 30 years ago when I was in high school. The passion of loving the mountains, being in nature, and the interest of photography complemented each other. So I would say that when I was a high school student in 𝗙𝗰𝗲 High School, we did our first trek, which was from Thimphu to 𝗙𝗏, and we were young boys then. We did not have trekking gears, but I think that was the passion that drove us to go to 𝗙𝗏. So we did a very unplanned ad hoc trip with my young friends. We slept on night in 𝗙ģiting, and then the next day we reached 𝗙𝗏. But during that time, somehow I felt that the love for being in the forest, the sound that actually I hear during the night, and the silence and the ranges that I saw during the 𝗙𝗏 trek, that actually made me feel very calm. And that was then, I think, where I started to love going for treks, the nature. And also that time we did not have mobile phones, or I did not even have a camera. So it was basically all in my memory. So that was then when I started loving it.
What role does stillness and patience plays in your photography journey?
When I started loving the mountains and at the same time doing photography, I think it all evolved through the word patience was so much connected to what I was doing. Initially, the exhibition name was Highlands and Heartstrings, but then my daughter and my better half, 𝗙𝗰𝗲, they also tracked with me. And they were saying that everybody knows that your exhibition is going to be of mountains because of your social media and your friends. They know that you love the mountains. But they told me that highlands and heartstrings do not really connect to what you are deeply connected to. And then we brainstormed, and then they said maybe something that every time when you have a camera in your hand, or every time when you track to the mountains, there must be something that it really integrates you deeply. So, and when I thought about it closely, and I felt that patience was the right thing and the right word and the right feeling that I needed to express. So thus the title Patience came. And when it came to in reality also, when it came to any tracks that I do, it required a lot of patience for me to arrange the tracks, or the other one, to take a picture of a mountain or a portrait. I had to wait for even like 15 minutes to take a perfect shot. And then it deeply connected to me about my patience, because if the very next shot could be a perfect one, but then I could just go off and say, okay, that's it. But then when I wait for a few minutes, then another perfect shot comes. Similar to that, when I go in the mountains, every step I take, every breath I take, I struggle initially, but then slowly the patience that inside me helps me to reach a pass, or helps me to overcome certain difficulties in my journey. So that's the why patience for me.
Could you share a memorable experience or a story from your time spent in photographing the mountains?
I normally don't do the normal trek that the route that tourists take. I always move away from the route an hour or so and try to get a different view. So the pictures that I actually have exhibited here, like especially the mountains, they are from a different perspective and a different viewpoint. So even tourists or people who actually do the normal treks, they would not see that. One of the most memorable period that I still can remember photographing and a difficult time was during the Masagang trek. During the Masagang trek, when we were climbing to the base of Masagang, the Tsendegang mountain is just opposite of it. And as we were climbing the Masagang route to the base, we heard a loud roar, and I thought, because the sky was very clear, and I thought something is wrong. But then on the other side, I could see, after the sound, I could see there was avalanche falling, and that was one of the times that I had to quickly take off. I just had 2 shots, but I was lucky. So one of the shots captured the avalanche of the Sindagang, which I have exhibited here. So that is a very memorable time for me, and it's quite rare to get an avalanche. In my 15 years of loving the mountains and also photographing, maybe this is the second one. But not as this is the second, but the best one which I got.
How do you hope your viewers will connect with the landscape and people of Bhutan through your exhibitions?
Patience, life at my pace is an exhibition that is only, I would say, successful for myself because of 𝗙𝗰𝗲, the founder of 𝗏𝗏 Bhutan, and my better half 𝗙ecie. Both of them were the strengths in exhibiting this exhibition for me. The interesting thing is that as a photographer, I could just take photographs, I could get good shots, but the way they curated the pictures and exhibited with installation artworks and given the audience perspectives of how mountains would be, I think that was a part of my success in exhibiting this. It's my first solo exhibition, but then I also felt and I also heard from my friends and families that they have never seen pictures of these mountains in this perspective. So I would say that the exhibition here is done in 4 thematic parts. The first one is about the 6 pictures, 4 feet by 3 feet in size, that connects directly with me, which I did during my Snowman Trek 2. Snowman Trek 2 is actually 29 days. It starts from 𝗏𝗏 and ends in Bhutan. And the first phase, which I did before COVID, was from 𝗏𝗏 to Laya, and then I had to break because of the period and I did not get enough time. The second phase I did from Laya to Bhutan, that was last year. So the first 6 pictures that he wanted me to exhibit was something that connected to me through that snowman journey. The second phase is I've captured almost all, I think, the major mountains of Bhutan. So we have exhibited the mountains from the west till the central. So when people come here to look into the exhibition, they can see these mountains taken at different perspectives and in series wise from what comes next. So that every mountain that is placed is like as if you are taking the journey yourself and seeing them. The third one is about installation artwork. The installation artwork, which I thought it's not going to happen at all, because Aja asked me to print a poster size of almost 18 feet by 9 feet. And I could not even imagine that time that we could be able to print this and display it. But later when he exhibited it, I was mesmerized myself, even I was there. If you see the installation artwork, it's the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, that is at 5,300 meters. And maybe later you can focus on how tiny the horses look in front of this lake. The installation artwork, also the inside of this 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, the installation artwork is about entering into a highlands home. Like one part is the part when I went to highlands of Bhutan. There are people living there and they're inside their house, and the other one is in Laya, an old grandmother who actually was pouring tea, and I photographed it. So that is exhibited. And the other installation work is about the night skies. And what we wanted to show to the people is that just 3 hours from 𝗙𝗿𝗺, when you do the 𝗙𝗏𝗏 trek, you can see this the night shots and the night skies as clear as this, and even better because I would say that my expertise, my technicalities with taking night shots were not that good, but just 3 hours from Paro with a nice clear sky, especially in the winters, you can see such beautiful starry nights. So that is what we wanted to exhibit to people, encourage people to should go for treks and enjoy that. And it's all within Bhutan, and it's doable. The fourth one is he wanted me to exhibit my journey in the last 15 years of how many treks I did, and he wanted me to also display pictures of whom I was with. So mostly it is with my Trackers 360 group, my youngest tracker being my daughter, who started tracking at age of 9. She's now 18 now. And my other friends who also joined me to do different tracks. So I have displayed their pictures. We had done, I would say we have done almost all the tracks in Bhutan from what I know now. And this is how we wanted to exhibit. So the people who come here initially, when they look into the pictures, they may get a little lost, but then after I explain to them, or my vast staff explain to them what is this about, then they can connect it.
What challenges did you face while curating Patient Life at My Pace, and how did you overcome it?
This is an inside story about me and my curator. I was not confident enough, so just after they selected, shortlisted 8, and 4 artists would be exhibiting this year and 4 would be next year, I got among the 4 who's going to be exhibiting this year. I ran through all my pictures. I had almost 3,000 to 5,000 pictures which I wanted to show. And then I felt that some of the pictures were my top-notch pictures like that. I felt that these are the ones which I want to exhibit. But then my curator Aja said, if it is going to be in a thematic way, we will not be choosing your best picture, but what goes along with the exhibition. That was the first challenge that I faced, and it was a heartbroken time when I saw that some of my best pictures were just like removed. That was one. The other thing is about the logistic arrangements, the printing of the pictures. When we do this big scale printing sizes, it's not possible in Bhutan. So I had to print it from outside. And then printing it from outside is always an expense, extra expense, and also a challenge. That was 2. The third one is I could not imagine installation artwork or photography. And when the exhibition date was coming nearer, I was more nervous, I think, and I was more anxious. And how would I want to exhibit my pictures on an installation art work? And is it worth exhibiting? Because because 𝗏 is a renowned organization, and when they actually exhibit, it should have a weightage. And my worry was, will my photographs do justice to this exhibition, and people coming, taking time and coming here to see it? So these were some of these anxious moments that I have in life, and of course the challenges that I faced within myself.
As someone deeply connected both with mountains and photography, how do you think your perspective on this subject has evolved over the years?
When I started tracking sincerely, when I started tracking not just to track, and when I started photography sincerely, not just to show to my friends, for myself, then I felt that that was the time then and now I could see the evolution of my interest and uh, the patience, as I said earlier also, the patience, how much patience I had to actually connect to just not the mountains, but the whole journey. So I would want to talk about, it is not just the mountains and the photography, it's about the people who I met, the families who have become close to me when I went on trekking. Like I became close to a family who was actually 10 years ago. He's a young, I met him as a young boy. His name is 𝗙𝗰𝗲-𝗙. People, we call him Parasite. He is always with me with the horses. That is one. And he helps me with carrying my bags, helping me to go to spots where you don't, people normally don't go to get the beautiful shots of the mountains, landscapes and all. The other thing is about the tracker family that I have. We trek together, not just for the love of the mountains, but I think that because of this passion that we have with similar passion that we have, it connects us more and we become a family. The third thing is what I felt is that all these years hiking to the mountains, taking my camera actually, the whole bag weighs from 15 to 18 kgs. So it's very important for me to be fit, so that in the expense of carrying those heavy camera equipments, I have to be fit. So because of that, I have to keep myself healthy. So that also was a part of my life. So the journey actually involves a lot of other things. So it's not just the photography and the mountains. There's a whole chain of connections with me, with my friends, with myself. So this is basically, I would say, I've become a better person than before. My perspective through my lens could be, whenever I take a photograph, patience, as I said, is number one for me. I make sure that I have at least 20 shots of that subject which I'm taking, because every 20 shots has a different perspective for me. And among the 20 shots, I may be displaying one, but every shot has its own story. Like, as soon as there's a big storm, I don't just back off and go. I wait because I know I've been in the mountains. I know the weather changes very frequently, but after the big storm, the weather clears, and that's when the blue sky comes out and the mist comes. And I love taking, I don't like clear pictures at all. I love, if you see my photography, most of my photography have a simmer of clouds or a misty touch on it. And it's not plain, I would like to say. And similar to that, I like challenges in life. So when I go in the mountains, I make sure that even if I get a perfect shot, I don't just wrap up my camera. I wait for another shot.
Any advice for our viewers who is watching us?
Yesterday I was very happy after this exhibition was opened, because a group of students visited, and my target is to have youth and students come to these exhibitions, because I'm actually talking from my own perspective. When I was young, we didn't get this kind of opportunity, and there were no exhibitions around. We could not see mountains, we could see only through our naked eyes, and we could not imagine what life would be up there. But as a young heart, I think I was lucky enough to love the mountains, and then I passionately followed my dream and I went to the mountains, I photographed them, and now when I'm displaying them, as I said, my main targets, I want to have youth, students especially, to come and see what this our country can offer. It does seem challenging, but then as a reward, when you reach to such places, it's very beautiful. And many tourists who come and pay a lot to see these mountains, but for us, we can actually go there for free at a much cheaper cost, and enjoy the landscape. And it's not only about seeing it through their own eyes, but it's about the peace that they can feel it. Like. Say some people go to the mountains to find themselves. Some people want to be in the mountains to run away from the city. But as I was telling one of my friends that the question to me came in, if given a chance, would you want to live in the mountains? And I always thought about it before, but then as the saying goes, the grass is always greener on the other side. The people who are making the highlands, they love to come to the city. The people in the city, they love to go to the highlands. So it's their own perspective about which one is more happier for them. My request, my plea to the parents especially, which I've also put in my social media pages, that I would request the parents to bring their kids at a young age and see what the mountains of Bhutan, what landscape, how the highlanders live, how beautiful our country is, to come to the exhibition, because this exhibition was prepared with a lot of heart and soul from the 𝗏𝗏 family, by my curator 𝗏cie𝗿𝗷𝗶, and my photographs, which is a journey of 15 years. So this is what I want to request to, especially to the parents and also to the young people, and of course people who love mountains, to come and have a look and see what I have actually exhibited. It may not be the best, but it does connect. It may connect to you, and in future you may want to go to these treks, and also you may feel connected to some places. It's not that I am. There may be many who have done it, the trek, but I feel that displaying my pictures would help a lot of people who cannot go there physically, one, and number two, who don't have time, and I want to give them a visual treat of the almost all the treks in Bhutan.
Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your insights, La. To our viewers, don't forget to visit here in West Bhutan to see T Dorji's talent through his photography journey. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel and social media pages.